Okay, what is actually happening in the cruise industry this week? Because the headlines have been absolutely insane. First, multiple Disney Cruise and Holland America crew members were detained by federal agents in San Diego tied to a child exploitation investigation. Absolutely disgusting. Next, an elderly woman tragically passed away at Celebration Key after her mobility scooter went off of a pier while Carnival Celebration was still docked there. And also, another passenger passed away after falling from a balcony overboard on Carnival Firenze near Catalina Island. And of course, there's still this whole Hantavirus situation going on. I'm not even going to go there because that's crazy. I'm Bati from Bati on a Boat, and I think that this week's cruise news is absolutely crazy, and I really want to dive into it. And let's start with that Disney story because this one's absolutely insane and it's disgusting. Federal authorities detained multiple cruise workers in San Diego connected to an investigation involving alleged child sexual abuse material. Reports confirmed some of the workers were employed on Disney Cruise Line ships, and at least a few workers were associated with Holland America as well. Passengers described seeing crew members escorted off ships in handcuffs while the ships were docked in San Diego. Now, obviously, anytime people hear Disney and arrests in the same headline, social media goes crazy. Everybody's like, what? What's going on? Because you would imagine Disney ships are supposed to be safe, the safest for children especially. But here's what's important to understand. This was not a passenger safety incident on board the ship itself. Authorities appear to have conducting a broader investigation involving crew members and visa enforcement. Still, this story has a lot of cruisers worried and asking questions about the hiring requirements and the background checks. And honestly, that conversation is probably not going to go away anytime soon, especially after something this crazy. Now, moving on, if that story shocks you, the Celebration Key story hit the cruise community emotionally in a very different way. An elderly woman riding a mobility scooter reportedly drove off of the pier while Carnival Celebration was docked at Celebration Key. Rescue teams recovered her from the water, but Carnival later confirmed she did not survive. And this one really rattles people because Celebration Key is being heavily marketed as Carnival's next big private destination. A lot of cruisers immediately started asking questions about the pier safety, accessibility, safeguards, and whether cruise ports are truly designed well for those with mobility scooters and mobility issues and for elderly guests. And honestly, this one's really sad because she just went there just like anybody else goes. Have fun, enjoy yourself, go on a cruise, and things like this could happen to anybody. So it's pretty unfortunate. And cruise ports are becoming increasingly bigger. Some of these piers are incredibly long. There's pressure to move quickly. There's lots of people in narrow gaps sometimes, big crowds, and so accidents could happen. So if you cruise with mobility equipment or travel with elderly family members, this is your reminder to slow things down, be careful, and don't feel rushed. Take your time, be safe. That's the most important thing. Now, moving on, another Carnival story. A 24-year-old woman passed away after falling from a balcony overboard the Carnival Firenze near Catalina Island. Authorities are still investigating what exactly happened there. And this is the same time that this Carnival Celebration pier incident happened as well. So it's been a very sad, unfortunate week in terms of cruising with everything going on, and especially these two incidents with Carnival alone. And that's why it's important to verify details before you go and spread things, because you might spread the wrong information. So just be careful. And of course, we have the whole hantavirus situation. I honestly don't want to dive into this one. It's a little too big and too unknown right now. There's so many things going on with that, so many different things that I've heard. I do not want to spread wrong information. I do not want to prematurely report on this one. Don't want to talk about that one. That one's absolutely bonkers, and hopefully it doesn't turn into something bigger that we had about 6 years ago. Hopefully we don't have that happen again. But I want to ask, which stories shocked you the most from this week? And were any of you at these places? Were any of you at Celebration Key when this went down? Or were you on the Firenze? Like, what's the situation? What are they telling you? What's going on? Because fortunately for me, I don't think I've ever encountered an emergency on a ship or on an island. Nothing this crazy, at least. But for me personally, I've got to say the crew workers on Disney and those few that were on Holland, that really devastates me. That's terrible. Like, most crew workers are absolutely amazing, fantastic. But of course, just like anywhere, anything, you're going to get bad apples out of the bunch. That's with anything, right? And it's just very unfortunate that this happens. And I'm glad that the proper actions were taken and we're getting these dangerous, sick individuals off of these ships, away from these kids. And at least we're getting towards the right step there. And It's just an absolutely insane story. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about these stories, which one's the craziest, if you've personally seen anything or heard anything different than what I've reported on. But in the meantime, that's all I got for you. Happy cruising, stay safe, please be careful out there. Ciao.